mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have never left California.
This bronsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no. Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
The immortal words of my late friend Alex Fleming: if you're early, you're on time, and if you're on time, you're late. 8:05 this morning, 8:06 now as we begin, and I say to y'all, good morning. Welcome to the Tripped Out Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have you all with us. One quick adjustment. Hold on a second. There we go. Making an adjustment for those of you watching on BS3 TV and YouTube. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Lots to get to. And first, let me say hello to the folks in the feedback zone presented by Fanatics. Bishop Rod, who the hell is that? Who the hell is Bishop Rod Grant? He's been telling me about that basically all night. Well, you should know better. All right, now that I can see more from the Fanatics feedback zone, Chris Dietz will join us a little later. Good morning and get ready to strap in. Totally Dietz Thursday will have you either screaming or barfing, so set yourself accordingly. Can't wait, and I'll get you the connection here in just a moment. Of course, a Pizzle. I was on his show, Four Horsemen of Pick'ems, last night, talking NFC and AFC championship games. Mister, will you please wake up? Of course, that's my beautiful wife, Jody, who supplied the voice. He says, good morning, and good morning to you. Sick Diggy joining us from Norway. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And our favorite bronze sexual is acting a fool earlier than usual. He's trying to incite a riot, is what he's doing. The hell is that? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Cole Sports with a Z in the house with us this morning.
Good morning, Chad. Good morning, my man. How are you doing?
I'm great, man.
Good.
Less than 72 hours from the most excited I've been in 3 years for my team. Even though, actually, well, hell. We'll break down the AFC and NFC championships today and tomorrow. Victor Locke is joining us from Chicago. Are you at home or are you in the office this morning, Vic? He was working from home yesterday because of all the of the weather.
Yeah.
Because of the weather. All right. One bit to talk about in the whip around, and we're going to extend it. Let's go.
Oh, I'm sorry. My EP had. I saw something in the EP thing. I was.
What did you see?
No. Just you did a countdown. You did a countdown. You did a countdown. Graphic.
You taught me.
Well, hey.
It took me a couple of hours to master it, but you taught me.
Oh, it's like, oh. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry you caught me staring at that, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Hey, learn from the best.
All right, now this will I think this will get your wife smiling. So the Colts interviewed this won't. The Colts interviewed Jeff Saturday last week because the owner, Jim Irsay, got drunk. I mean, he just feels, I guess you could say, benevolent in wanting to continue having Mr. Saturday be the head coach of the Colts. Now he had the interim tag. He will have the interim tag taken off should he be hired. But the fans, though, are saying, we ain't having it. So a petition has started to keep the finalist, Jeff Saturday, from becoming the full-time head coach.
According to USA Today, Jeff Saturday is one of 4 reported finalists so far for the coach head coaching job. It's a growing list. There are coaches with experience, which Saturday is not, and have reputations in the coaching profession. The fans didn't like it, and it rubs the Colts fan base the wrong way. Now they're trying to do something about it. They're sharing a petition through change.org titled "Don't Hire Jeff Saturday as Coach." It launched Wednesday afternoon, and by the evening, it had more than 900 verified signatures. Let me say that number again. 900 verified signatures.
Now, I know I root for a team that is a divisional rival of the Colts. However, taking that fan hat off, I'm actually applauding the Colts fan here because Colts fan, get it. You get it.
Oh.
You get it. Jeff Saturday is not your guy. I'm sorry, he's not your guy.
And if the interim period didn't explain that or show that, then what else will?
Right. And it's not even the L's he took. I'm sorry, my bad.
Do it right.
It's not the fact that he took a slew, a plethora, a cornucopia, a myriad of it's the fact that you could point at many points in almost every game they played when Saturday was head coach where the team was all out of sorts. And that to me signals, no, he is not your guy going forward.
Nope. And what did Wise say? They got a guy who played for the Colts that knows them better.
Reggie Wayne.
On
the staff. He not just played for him, on the staff when they brought in Saturday from being a TV analyst.
So why did they not hire Reggie Wayne?
And then
why did they not hire a Hall of Famer in Reggie Wayne?
I'm like, you already have somebody who knows the team, who has been a coach on it for a while,
and knows the system.
This should be a no-brainer. Okay, well, we'll see if you can actually handle this. We'll give you the reins, Reggie. Go ahead. And played on the same teams in the same era that Jeff Saturday did.
Yeah, with 2 great quarterbacks, Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. They went with Jeff Saturday.
They went with
I don't
Jeff
know why
Saturday.
they did that. Matter of fact, perfect question. Perfect question. Reggie Wayne, of course, played in 2 Super Bowls, won Super Bowl 41, lost Super Bowl 44, both with the Colts.
Correct. That's correct.
Good old number 87.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that doesn't show you, if the last 7 games of the season doesn't show you that Jeff Saturday's not your guy, and as you said, taking the fan hat off and looking at this from a critical standpoint, which is what Rod West doesn't do. Oh, I'm sorry.
Rod West.
Did I just take a shot?
Oh, yes, you did, sir.
Okay.
And there'll be another segment later on where you'll take another one. But yes.
I'm gonna take a couple. I'm gonna take a few of them. I'm gonna drop a few howitzers. Look, you're gonna feel the same way in April like I felt last July. I'm 50. I've run out of fucks to give. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. I've seen it. I've seen it with my missus. I
Mhm.
definitely seen it up close and personal with you this last year, so I know I was going to feel that energy.
Oh yeah.
I'm just waiting.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just waiting
I,
for the.
and
I'm
I
just waiting
saw
for.
it. And I
Yeah.
saw it with my missus when she turned 50 in
Mhm.
June.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the day when I can actually say I'm a 50-year-old, where I can say, "Yep, that four-letter word that begins with F. Yeah, I really do not give any. I
Run out of 'em.
I have run out of them. Yeah,
There's so many
sorry.
Spider-Man memes with that phrase. Half of them my wife showed to me because she knows I love Spider-Man.
And
But
see, and I think that funny that you say that. I think Colts fan is basically saying that they don't really have any F's to give,
which is why I brought it up.
and they're like,
That's
no.
exactly why I brought it up.
They say,
You,
no,
you
Jim, no, somebody else, not him.
do you want Lucas Oil Stadium to burn to the ground, Indianapolis? Then
Hire Jeff Saturday.
keep going the route that you're going.
Make Jeff Saturday the full-time head coach. You will easily
This
have
will
that
frighten
stadium burned to the ground.
this frightens my wife, and she's a ninth generation Hoosier. She's a ninth generation Hoosier, and of course, you know our plight. We're trying to get the hell up out of here.
Right,
I've never made no secret of that,
right.
and I've had. It's so strange. I told people, I told people my story, and
Mhm.
why can't you make it here? I tried.
More than once, and that happens. I mean,
Hell, I had one of the last times I was in Chicago before my mom died.
mhm,
I was so excited because I was walking off of the train platform for what would be the final time.
mhm.
And I'm saying, I'm just so happy. Like, I can't wait to get out of here. I can't
Oh,
wait to
yeah.
get back home to North Carolina.
Yep.
And some idiot, and there are two mitigating factors, which I will not say here. And I think you know what they are. Ask me the same question. And he asked me, why can't you do your broadcasting here? Been there, done that, tried that, burnt the t-shirt when I got done with the son of a bitch.
And there's actually video evidence of the claim. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Mm.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, burnt the son of a bitch when I got done with it. That is how to tie it into with the current subject, because I know I'm getting voices in my ears. That is how Colts fan feels right now. How do I know this?
In my
I'm
head,
married to one.
these are
I am.
the voices in my
I actually had some.
head. These
I
are
lost it.
the voices in my head. Oh no! Oh no!
Lost it.
You had a sweet mind. Sorry, I lost
it. Yep.
Oh Lord!
Oh,
Not,
I can't
not
believe that
the
just popped in my
mind I
head.
lost.
The team I lost.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry, I lost it.
I just don't understand. See, this is why I really do believe that somebody needs to buy out Jim Irsay as owner of the Colts. I don't understand his logic.
I'm
Really,
sorry,
Jeff
what was that
Saturday?
5-letter word?
Logic. I don't understand his logic. Jeff Saturday, who only had 10 games experience of head coaching, period, and it wasn't an NFL level, and it wasn't on the collegiate level. It was on the high school
On
level.
a high school level.
And I think you got him for a Thursday game. You saw him on with a suit and stand in front of a television camera on a Tuesday and say, "Oh yeah, that's my guy," and you yank him. What? I'm not saying that Saturday does not know the game. Right. I'm not saying that Saturday doesn't know the game. I'm not even saying that Saturday is unintelligent.
No, we're not saying that at
No.
all.
I mean,
we're not saying that at all.
Look, for those who don't know the fine points of football, there are a few positions where you actually are charged with having to deal with a lot. Quarterback is one, And I'm on the field. I mean, quarterback is one.
Yep.
Middle linebacker is another.
Mhm.
Center is another.
Center's a big one.
Center is one of the hugest ones. So
center's a big one.
So it's not that Jeff Saturday does not know the game. He knows the game.
And we will never say he doesn't know the game. I mean, for God's sakes, he was an analyst at ESPN, man.
And he was good. And he's good as an analyst.
And he played in the ACC when the ACC had great football like North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He was center for Peyton Manning. Does that tell you anything?
And Peyton Manning, even with Saturday, the standard had to be through the roof. And if it wasn't, you knew Saturday was not going to be
both of them, RCA Dome and Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yep. So we're not saying he doesn't have a head for the game,
which is what a lot of people are going to come at us saying. You know,
right? Yeah. What we're basically saying is this guy's not a leader of men, and he proved it. He proved it, and it's unfortunate because with a head coach, you got to know both. You got to know the X's and O's of the game, and you got to be a leader of men at the same time.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean you have to have the whip and you have to beat the players down. No, you have to know how to get every one of the 53 that's on your roster to participate and be as one.
And even the game against the Raiders, you didn't see that. They seemed out of sorts.
And they won that game.
Yes.
So that should tell you something.
They won on the road in Vegas, and they seemed so far out of sorts. It's not even funny. I mean, my wife, Jody, y'all know Jody, looked at me and went, "They did what?" She gave me an Al Michaels. My beautiful wife, folks. We were watching two games that afternoon because the 49ers played that afternoon also. My wife, my beautiful wife, a 9th generation Hoosier, big time Colts fan, which is why I'm wearing the sweatshirt so I can support her. My daughter was born in Peyton Manning Hospital. My wife looked at me. Let me get the volume up here. After the Colts won in Vegas somehow by 5 and said,
"He did what?"
Couldn't believe they won the game.
Does that tell you anything?
That's hilarious.
And this is after she asked me how the 49ers did. Well, we couldn't get the 49ers game. This is one thing we're going to change. We're going to find a way to get all the games next year. Wherever we land, we're going to find a way to get all the games next year.
If you're going where I believe you're going to go, I don't think you'll have an issue with the 49ers games.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Hey, look, that's one thing we already discussed. All right. So, Colts fans are telling Jim Irsay, "Don't do it, man. Don't push that button.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not press that button."
And that's this version of the whip around. Speaking of buttons.
Oh, Lord, the utter blasphemy that we're actually doing it today. You know, like Youngsters by 30 in the game, 7K against what the first round and they being choking in front of home crowd and Steph getting carried to a finals and conference finals. All playoffs song and Jokic getting bounced in the first round because that's none of the details that matter. It's this one. Gentlemen, LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world.
I'll start here.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
You're a stupid dumbass.
Right.
You're a stupid dumbass.
Right.
Bitch, please.
You for real?
What? 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 What?
And
I'm getting too old for this.
And oh yeah, A-Rod West.
English. Do you speak it?
Who Who actually believes LeBron James is the best player in the world? And now for my partner Cole Johnson and those in the chat, a lovely selection from the Wonder Bread Choir entitled "You Are Tripping." I'm getting good at learning the full EP duties from you, my man.
Well,
I'm getting good at this ish.
thank you.
Oh, one more for you.
Okay.
All
right.
To whip that trope into oblivion. Let's see. Do I have it? I should have another one. See, this is when I hope they improve StreamYard or Restream where we can have like a matrix like I have with my soundboard and we both get like touchscreen monitors and we just push the button that we need. That is my goal for my studio. When I fly you out to where we're going and you sit in with me. In the meantime, sometimes Cole has to do this.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. The host needs to collect himself for a moment or two. Please stand by. The host simply can't believe how people can be such dolts and idiots. Please stand by. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming, already in progress.
I want to know where in the Vita Blue hell you found that. I want to know where in the Vita Blue hell did you find that, or did you put parts together and create it? Because the first time you did that on your show, I roared. And I think it was a segment you introduced called Alternate Reality.
That was the first time I did it on camera. Yeah. The first time I did it, period. Because I've had that. I've found that music bed. Well, wait, wow. 2017, I think is when I found it.
Oh, wow.
So I've had it that long. So it was one of the rare times I actually had to take Jerry Rice to task. So understand this.
Okay.
He's doing a Popeyes commercial and he basically is looking like he's shucking and jiving as he's doing this Popeyes commercial.
Yes.
So I looked at the video, and of course this is when Cole Sports was not on YouTube.
Right.
And I literally the week before, I was not even thinking I was going to use it that soon. I said, I need to have, because I remember I did a take before where I was like, okay,
Speaking
I'm going
of Popeyes. There's your backdrop right there.
So, I went absolutely ham or hard as an MFer. For those who don't know what that acronym means. On a take where I was like, I'm gonna save myself and sort of make it entertaining, and they don't think that I'm basically just a blowhard or I'm just angry all the time. So
yes.
So that particular cut to Jerry Rice's Popeyes commercial appearance, and that legitimately made me upset. So I was like, oh, this would be a good time to use it. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna time it. And then when I got to a certain point where I knew I could use it, bam. And that's where it was. So I had it for a good while.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Now the images, it took me a minute to find, but yeah, once I found it, I was like, I said to myself, find the calmest images that you can find. Just comb and have calming images only. And then be as condescending in your VO.
The host cannot believe that people can be such dolts and idiots. Please stand by.
And that's how
Best
Walking Away from Mike was born.
One of the best things you ever created. One of the best things you ever created. Oh my gosh. One of the best things you ever created, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Trying to grab some. Doggone it.
Mm-hmm.
There's something you need to snatch.
Something I need to snatch.
Unless it's here. Oh, it's here. I saw it. Okay. 5 minutes before we bring on Deets, I was looking for something, and I gotta remember who my partner is. He thinks ahead like I do. Matter of fact, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and bring him on right now, folks. It's Thursday, and it's time for this man.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
And here's the full-blown fibrillation right now. The man we call Chris Deets, the legend we call Chris Deets, joining us this morning. Good morning, my man. Great to have you.
Good morning, guys. Before we get started, you know how in entertainment they always say, if you're going to steal from the best?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not cuss.
Well, there's also another saying along those regards. It's if you take from one person, it's stealing. But if you borrow from many people, it's called research.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you, moderators, anybody who's listening, moderating this show, I may not be able to stop myself today. What I've got on hand,
and I know,
yes,
I believe
I might not be able to hold back.
And I believe part of it is due to what took place Sunday night.
It's more than that.
That's why I said part of it, not all, but part.
Okay,
it's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the first part is, I just finished watching the worst television show in the history of television, and I have watched some bad TV in my life.
So have I. What's the show?
And it happens to be related to what took place on Sunday.
Wait, what?
Yes. It is the exact same mindset that one team had on Sunday. And we will explain. I will give you the Cliff Notes version here. We will break it down immensely because I have a 2-hour program tonight.
All right.
What's your kickoff time?
Our kickoff time is going to be 8:00 tonight.
Okay.
Because I am so fired up to get this on the board. And I mentioned it in the chat. And Victor, I love your response. And to you guys, I have to ask you this question before I...
If it's what I think it is...
Before I divulge...
If it's what I think it is, I think my daughter told me also, but...
Were you guys fans of Scooby-Doo?
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Deeds, if you are in the chat, if you have watched Velma, if you plan on watching Velma... Just don't. It's absolutely horrible. It is the worst thing I've ever seen in the history of television. And I'll explain this in 3 questions to you guys.
You know, before you get your question, you know what my daughter said to me? Wife and daughter came home yesterday from work, and Sonia was talking to Jody about this.
How old is your daughter?
28.
I'm about to say in the 20s, yeah.
All right. So,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Sonia's 28. And Jody says, Brian's the cartoon expert. I swear to y'all, Sonya's first words to me were, "Open it, Cole. I gotta have it.
Lord.
Open it."
All right. So your stepdaughter's first words to you were, quote,
"If you ever plan to watch a series called Velma, don't. You will lose brain cells."
Close quote.
I'll let Dietz take it from there.
The floor is
Let
yours.
me just explain to you how bad this show is, and I'll do it in question form.
Okay.
For you guys. All right. If you were going to tell me a description, obviously you guys have seen Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
If you guys were Snowman, if you were going to describe the characteristics of Fred to me, how would you describe Fred?
Straight lace, the brains of the outfit, knows what the hell he's doing, wasn't lying when he said danger prone Daphne.
Okay, I've noticed you've given a couple of instances here, but you didn't say rich, snotty, white, spoiled, stupid. These are all the characteristics of Fred Jones. Oh, and you didn't say murderous psychopath.
No, I didn't say any of that. No.
Yes, these are the characteristics of Fred Jones in Velma. Rich, snotty, so spoiled he doesn't know how to cut his own food, yet he is charged with murder in the first episode.
In the immortal words
what is going on?
In the immortal words of Vikings play-by-play voice Paul Allen.
Are you kidding me?
And to that description, I respond with
That is blasphemous. That is
it gets more blasphemous, and for that I will go to you, Cole.
It gets more blasphemous.
Cole, if I were to ask you to describe Daphne.
Oh, Jesus.
Please describe Daphne to the audience.
Okay, Daphne. I would say flighty. I would say a socialite. I would say materialistic, egotistical, and probably has a stock, or their parents have stock in Aquanet.
Okay, I notice you did not use the words Asian drug dealer. Yes, and by the way, this show takes place in high school, where Daphne is an Asian drug dealer.
Those three words right there make me not want to see Velma. Right there, Asian drug dealer.
What in the world are we doing? Where did she go? How did this happen?
The casting director needed to be fired.
Can we get?
Oh my god!
And then the last of it, because I could get on Shaggy, but Shaggy's not really in the show. So, Snowman, how would you describe Velma from the original series?
A geek, a nerd, fun-loving, smart, just quiet,
blind without the glasses,
blind as a bat without the glasses, which describes me. But yeah,
I noticed you didn't use the words racist or bigot in the entire segment, but that's all she does. She does not solve a. She does not solve. We're 4 episodes into this garbage. He has not solved a single mystery the entire time. And the very first episode, she says, "Oh, Fred obviously is the killer because he's rich and white." That's her. That's her Jinkies moment. Is he clearly did it because he's the rich white guy? And then there's more.
There's
more.
What? Oh, Lord.
And then in episode 2, she says he's clearly innocent because he's white and stupid.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
You can't make this stuff up. The first episode, she clearly says he's guilty. She accuses him of murder based on the fact that he's the rich white dude, so he clearly killed the girl. Then in the second episode, she says, well, he couldn't have done it because he's too stupid.
Bitch, are you for real?
And somehow, some way, the judge in the case says, I agree. He's too stupid to commit. When did that become a characteristic? When did that become oh, that's legal. That's legal binding. You're too stupid to commit this crime, so we're going to let you off the hook.
Well, yeah, you're innocent, sir, because you actually do not possess the brain cells to perform this crime.
What is going on?
So with the gavel, I'm going to actually give you also, and it's great.
Who wrote this ish?
Wow.
It was written by Mindy Kaling. If you don't know who that is, she was on The Office. She wrote some of The Office. Which, by the way, they say she's a writer of The Office. They stole The Office from Europe. So I don't know how much they wrote of it because they just copied the show from they brought it over from the BBC. So, oh my goodness. In
the immortal words of Hall of Famer Frank Thomas, my brain hurts.
Mindy Kaling actually wrote Velma.
Mindy Kaling wrote this ish,
and why the main character played by Mindy Kaling is Velma, who's been race swapped to an Indian. Yes, not a Native American.
I knew you were going to say that when I heard Mindy Kaling. I figured she was going to play the title character.
And every single thing she says is based on race, gender, or sexuality.
Who in the world surprised by that?
There's not a single line she has in the show that does not involve someone's race, gender, or sexuality, whether they're gay, whether they're black, whether they're white, whether they're male, female. The whole entire last episode was, I have to take on the misogyny culture of it was
the whole world.
How many episodes are in this damn series?
I hope there's not many more. I really, they're coming out 2 at a time, so I don't know how. I don't know how many episodes there are going to be, but right now we've gotten 4, and all four have gotten exponentially worse each time.
How? Because number 1 is bad enough.
This is exponentially worse than She-Hulk.
How could 2, 3, and 4 be exponentially worse than 1, and 1 is abysmal?
You mean to tell me? And I didn't watch the series I'm about to mention, but you mean to tell me this is worse than She-Hulk?
It's worse. It's worse. It's way worse than She-Hulk. She-Hulk is its own entity. Mm-hmm. She-Hulk did its own thing. This is way worse because not only does it ruin this show, it ruins an IP that is all you have to do is put them on the TV and give us the characters we know and love. And people would eat up Scooby-Doo left and right. They would love it, and it's money. It's like printing money. And somehow you screwed this up.
And to think,
I don't understand it.
And to think, one of the shirts that my wife bought me honors Scooby-Doo. Mm-hmm. She knows I'm old school with. Oh no, Victor! Don't you tell this lie.
What lie you gonna tell? Oh Lord, have mercy!
I have heard that there is a second. There's a second. I've heard that a second season has already been greenlit, and it was greenlit before the show even premiered. I don't understand how they're going to get that going. Right now, current statistics. 6%. 6% likability on Rotten Tomatoes. 0.4 out of 5 on Metacritic. This show is getting absolutely panned by everybody watching it.
I'm
getting too old for this.
Once again, in the immortal words of Paul Allen.
Are you kidding me?
Euphoria.
I can't believe this crap.
And I got the video of Paul Allen saying that. I just got to make the sound better. I'll have that tomorrow. They greenlit a second episode?
They greenlit a second season without even before the show premiered. They said, "No, we're going to do a second season of this."
They greenlit a second season.
No. Mind is going to watch this show.
And who said it? Was it Ron or was it Victor? Yeah, it was Victor. Yeah. Mindy Kaling, this is a self-insert project or a vanity one. Yeah, I just don't understand it. And yes, and Sick, you're correct. The original version, Velma is Jewish and possibly a lesbian or bisexual. Yeah. This is why I have an issue with people taking brands that are already established and putting their own sheen on it or doing a 2023 version of it. It just does not work.
Can I have my brain back?
Oh my gosh.
Please.
So Daphne is an Asian drug dealer.
Yep. Daphne is race swapped to Asian, and in the hierarchy of the high school that they go to, she is the drug kingpin that is selling drugs in the school.
Daphne is an Asian drug dealer. To me, I'm sorry, if that is in one way of basically throwing a middle finger to certain cultures, I don't know what is. Oh my gosh. Wow.
And yes to what Victor just said. Yes.
Back up.
Shaggy.
Rewind.
They can't call him Shag. They can't call him Shaggy because they don't have the right. They don't have the rights to Shaggy or Scooby.
Wait. Am I reading?
It's worse than what Victor has said. And yes, Shaggy is a black guy obsessed with Velma, and yes, he somehow is against drugs, but he's also a huge. He's also cuckolded to Velma. You can't make this up.
He's what?
Oh, you buried the lead. Hold up. A black man who is obsessed with Velma and wants to have drugs from Daphne. Get out of here. Oh, Lord have mercy. You buried the lead. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh.
Wait till I play this portion of today's show for my daughter.
I laugh my butt off with bass all the time. That is the funniest thing I have heard on this show. Oh,
hold up. Norville?
Oh, Lord. Norville. That he has.
You mean to tell me Shaggy, who was voiced by the late great Casey Kasem,
oh Lord,
is a
gosh. And I wish I had the picture. If you see the picture of Shaggy, he has the weirdest afro you can think of. It's the most awful.
now this is going to require. Oh no! Oh my God!
Oh Lord, no! There's more.
Oh hell no!
There's more. There's more crap. Oh Lord. Oh gosh.
Guys. Guys.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
I saw
what? What? Lord, no.
Guys.
The main character of the show, and he's not on.
It's not even in this thing.
Oh God.
Wait. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Okay.
Hold on a minute. I
agree with you, Victor. I love Cobra Kai for that very reason. Oh my gosh. Whew.
What the?
Whoa.
Wait a minute. What the?
Oh goodness. Oh Lord. Deech, you should have warned me about this, man. You told me Cowboys.
He did.
No, he didn't. He told me Cowboys. He didn't tell me this crap. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Okay. Guys.
Oh good Lord. This I
did some quick research.
This some bull.
And I saw the person who plays Shaggy.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Hold up. Let me see if I can put this in the chat here. Let me see if I can.
Why does Fred look like a character from Dragon's Lair?
I don't think Dragon's Lair had nothing to do with this ish. And I played the damn game.
Same.
Couldn't master it to save my life, but I played the damn game.
Same again.
I just love playing it. I would always fuck it up, but I played it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute.
Oh my
God. Wait a minute. Why does shall I go there? Did we lose Deeds?
Oh Lord. If we did, I'm so sorry. Wow, how did that happen? I'm so sorry. Oh Lord.
I think that they're trying to shadow ban us, man. If they're not already.
They punks.
I want you to do some research quickly, and you'll see.
Wow.
Sam Richardson.
Okay, Sam Richardson. I'll do that.
This is Shaggy. Oh, what?
Okay, Sam Richardson. Oh, no. Okay. All right, I just had to do that real quick. Sam Richardson. All right.
We got Deeds back. Maybe.
Okay. Well, I've seen him, so the face is familiar.
Oh God. You wrong, Sick.
Face is familiar. I have seen
you wrong, Sick. You wrong.
I'm trying to do research. Y'all come up with these shenanigans. Hold on. What did Sick say?
This.
Why it looks like Dax? Why does he look like Dax?
This show is so bad. The original voice actor of Daphne actually slammed the show. Don't blame her at all.
Thank you, honey. You did a great job. Yes.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't the original actor. It was the actress who voiced Daphne in the newest version of Scooby-Doo. But she voiced the original Daphne. So
right.
But yeah, she absolutely took it to task on Twitter, and it was amazing. It was awesome. I saw it yesterday. It was fantastic.
Can you pull up what Deeds? Can you pull up what she said?
You messed me up on Asian drug dealer and Shaggy's
Asian drug dealer.
She didn't say anything. She just posted a picture of Velma and put WTF. And
Vic, I've seen Sam Richardson before too. So yeah, that's not the first time I've seen him.
Okay, now how did they come up? Good Lord, I can't.
This is worse than the Witcher disaster on Netflix. I didn't watch that either.
I watched both. And again, The Witcher, yes, it was absolutely terrible. It was horrible. but that can live on its own. That's not connected to anything else. This is directly connected to characters from the Hanna-Barbera cartoons all grew up on.
That's been at least 60 years in existence. Yes,
it just desecrates everything,
or almost,
and that's why this is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And again, and to not to take us off the Velma train, but to connect this to what I was talking about before and the utter disgrace that was
only Dietz is going to be able to make this connection. Let's go.
All right. So the reason Velma exists is because people looked at it and they said, you know what? There's a tried and true method of how you do Scooby-Doo, and you can tell us about the characters, and if everything works out, everything will work out fine. You know what they decided to say? Velma producer said, no, we want to do things our way. We're not going to do things your way. We're not going to do things the way it takes to win at making this show. We're going to do it our own way, and we're going to do things differently than everybody else. And our way is going to work. Yeah, it's working to a 6% rating, you morons. So take this to Sunday, where the Dallas Cowboys, with 1:24 left in the first half,
yes,
have a 2nd and 2 at the San Francisco 24-yard line.
Right.
Where anyone in their right mind would say, run the ball, get a first down.
Run the ball.
4 tries at the end zone. And you get 4 tries at the end zone. And if you miss, guess what? You kick the field goal. There's no time left. You're up 9-6 going into halftime where you get the ball back.
Worst case scenario.
That's worst case scenario. You walk out with a 9-6 lead and you get the ball to start the second half.
Yes.
And you get the ball start second half.
Anybody in their right mind says, yes, I want that.
Yes.
But the Dallas Cowboys decided,
absolutely,
nope, we want to do things differently. We want to subvert your expectations
and do excite the audience
exactly wrong and go, you know what? We're going to throw the ball. Not only are we going to throw the ball, but we're going to run a passing play where our guy is running into traffic and our quarterback can throw the ball anywhere he wants. It's 2nd and 2.
But he throws behind it.
It's 2nd and 2. If the guy's not wide open, throw the ball at him.
Throw it away.
If it ain't wide open, throw it into the
heck. Even
look, all three of us have heard. All three of us have heard that. All three of us have heard this. On a 2nd and 2, if it ain't wide open, throw it into the 15th row.
Launch it.
Throw it through the goalpost.
Yes,
throw it anywhere but where he decides to throw the ball. And what are you trying? What are you trying to do there? The guy is double covered, one by a corner on his backside and a linebacker underneath. Why are you throwing that ball anyway? Even if you're predetermined, I'm going to throw this to CeeDee Lamb. Oh, CeeDee Lamb's double covered. I'm going to spike it at his feet so that nobody catches it. And again, we live to play it. But again, I don't put that. I mean, as much as that should be on Dak, I don't put that interception on Dak because it shouldn't have been called in the first place. Run the damn ball and get a first down.
Oh no, this is on Dak too, but he's not. It's not on Dak only.
That's what I mean. It's not only on Dak. Yeah. It's on Dak once the play is. Once the ball is hiking.
The ball snapped, right.
But before the ball is snapped, it should have been, all right, it's 2nd and 2. Let's run the ball here.
And the breadbasket of Ezekiel Elliott.
Let's run the ball here. We get out of the half. At least we're the last team to possess the ball in the half.
Exactly.
No.
Zeke, Malik Davis, whomever. I mean, I know Pollard went out in the game before then, but you still got 2 running backs. Pound the rock with them.
And not only do you not run the ball, you have Ezekiel Elliott motion to wide receiver. You don't even put him in the backfield. So the defense is like, there's no threat to run the ball.
Oh, they ain't running? Cool.
Nope. And you played right into the 49er defense.
Hands.
You
played right into the 49ers hands.
Because they figured, okay, more than likely they're going to probably dump it off, middle of the field, play it safe. And where was the coverage heaviest? Middle of the field.
Middle of the field.
I mean, the parallels to what I was just talking about, because I don't even want to mention the name of the show anymore because I don't even care. But the parallels are they're trying to do something their own way, and it's failing miserably. Well, the Dallas Cowboys tried to do things their own way, and it failed miserably on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was god awful. And you know, last week
Dietz is just talking about the end of the first half. Dietz is just talking about the end of the first half. We're not even going to talk about the final 2.5 minutes.
No. I'm getting
both possessions.
Both possessions.
I'm getting there.
Oh, I know you are.
But
I know you are.
I more importantly, I mean, I was just going to bring situational football. This is something. It's either the coach.
Yes,
it's either the coach or the quarterback.
Did
you say situational football?
He cursed
because Dak Prescott. Look, last year he bungled the end of the game because he didn't know how to run the 2-minute offense. Well, you need to coach him up on how to do that. Well, this year 2-minute offense was atrocious.
Abysmal.
They wasted
again.
They get
against the same team.
They get a first down. But they get a first down with a minute left. They waste 20 seconds lining up for a play when you just got a first down. Spike the ball and set up your next play. Nope. They waste 20 seconds to throw the ball down the field. And I'm sitting there going, what? Why are you doing this? Why do you not know how the clock works? The clock is running. Spike the ball. You don't have a timeout. Spike it, and you save 20. The time is more important than yardage right now because they were 70 yards away from the end zone.
And my next 5 words are, and then there's Dalton Schultz.
I won't even go there yet. I want to go Dalton Schultz yet. Here's where I want to go. So you're down 19-12. You have the ball. I don't know what you call the possession before last. You
don't ask that question.
I mean, Dak literally looked like he just learned how to play quarterback position. The way the 49ers were just frustrating him and just flustering him
the entire game. But
definitely with that possession.
Oh no.
That set of downs. And then you waste time to punt the ball when you need time.
Reason number 4,376,479.
Thank you, Victor. You were going right to what I was about to say. People were actually arguing with me and saying, well, this game is not on Mike McCarthy.
Wait. They were arguing with you.
They were arguing with me to say that this game
game is not on Mike McCarthy. Yeah. You're a student of the game.
Let me guess. They were putting it on the kicker for missing an extra point.
Well, they put it.
I've seen that. I've seen.
Put it on
we need to fire the kicker. The kicker had half the points. You moron.
Yeah, they put it on Brent Marb, who actually recovered and actually gave
made like 2 field goals.
Gave them almost all the points. Except for the touchdown that Schultz scored, and they were saying, no, this is all on Dak.
Bitch, please.
No, it ain't.
Thank you.
No, it ain't. That clock management mishap on that possession, and then the mishap that happened the following possession that ended the game, and I don't know what the F you call lining up having 9 go out and you render Ezekiel Elliott ineligible by being the center. And you're saying to me that game does not deserve to have 50% Mike McCarthy blame on it?
Listen.
Get real.
Listen. If y'all haven't checked out a channel by the title of Jaguar Gator 9, I suggest you do.
I love him.
I
Great channel.
love Jaguar Gator 9 because
100% will love that channel. That's one of my favorites.
There's a segment he does called Dumb Decisions.
Dumb decisions. And like Mike McCarthy has lived in his dumb decisions segment.
Fifth time he was on Dumb Decisions. Fifth time.
Victor, I love you. I love you for this.
We need to go back we need to go back further in the game to show you how destructive Mike McCarthy has been.
Please.
And it's got to be Mike McCarthy because there's got to be something. There's something with Dak that either the play calling, which by formation tells you what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have to go back 3 weeks. 3 weeks to when they played Washington in the last game of the season.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good barometer.
They ran what I ran when I was a coach. We called it a bench route, which is basically it's a comeback, but instead of going towards the quarterback, you're running towards the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
They ran this play against Washington, and the corner for Washington would have intercepted it, but he tripped over his own feet, and the ball hit him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, that would have picked, yeah.
The very next play, they ran the exact same route, and the guy picked it off and ran it for a touchdown.
Pick six. The very next play, yeah.
Fast forward to last Sunday, where the guy runs a bench route, and Michael Gallup and Jimmy Ward runs the route better than Michael Gallup. And what does Dak do? He throws it right to. It hit him hit him right in the numbers.
And Fred Warner picked it off.
So so this is what that tells me. Either there's something with the formation where the corners are saying they're going to run this route. I'm going to jump it. Because,
and they tell it. Yeah, by formation, they tell what they're doing. Yes.
Or Dak Prescott there's something with Dak Prescott that they're looking at, because there's no reason why the same route should get jumped 3 times every time you throw it. It's something
actually 4.
So that goes back to coaching. They should have known that by the Washington game when they said, "Hey, if we run this route, something is wrong." That the other team knows it's coming.
And actually, Chris,
they should have either scrapped that from the book or said, Dak, don't throw this ball.
Actually, Deeds, it's 4 times because the 4th nearly turned into a pick 6 by Drake Greenlaw.
I was about to say, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I was going to say, and that same session before last, same route you talked about, Deeds, Greenlaw could have walked in, but he was so shocked the ball got to him. And I think he was so shocked that actually Dak threw it that he couldn't even react quick enough to say, "Oh, I got this. This is 6." That would have ended the game
because Greenlaw jumped the hell out of that route.
He read that beautifully. To me, that particular play, talking about that, not necessarily that play in the game. I'm talking about that design.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I say the Cowboys' demise at the moment is 50% Mike McCarthy. I'm not even putting Kellen Moore in this because I just think he.
Kellen Moore's a yes man.
Thank you.
Kellen Moore's a yes man.
Yeah. 50% Mike McCarthy because he wants to say that he's the guy that's offensive brain power, and 50% Dak Prescott because I'm willing to bet that Dak is saying I like to run this play, Mike. I think we can make hay if we run this play. That's where Dak is at fault. Mike is at fault for having the hubris to think that no matter how you run it and no matter how bad you run it, we're going to continue to run it.
Which turns the clock back to last year in Arlington, the final play of the game. I want to know who called that mess.
Dead.
I was watching it at work. I want to know who called that mess and why. You had a second and 1. If you get tackled in the middle of the field,
why would you scramble in the middle of the field with no timeouts? Why?
If you get, let me say that again for all, especially for Rod West.
West.
Thank you.
No problem.
If you get tackled in the middle of the field, the clock will run out.
Oh, and then
and to complicate matters on that, the center tried to spot the ball when it's not his job to spot the ball.
They compound the problem of you actually are running with no timeouts remaining, and there's no way to stop the clock unless you spike it.
Mm-hmm.
By thinking,
And
okay, well,
you
we're
weren't going to get
putting it
enough
where it
time
is. The center's going to snap the ball. I'm like, dude.
and you weren't going to get enough time to spike the damn thing.
And this goes to your point, Deets. That is something that you think an NFL team would rehearse doing. You would think they would take time in practice to say, okay, if you actually would do the boneheaded thing and actually run with the ball up the middle with no timeouts remaining and it's under a minute or under 30 seconds in this case, the next thing you do is when you get up, look for a referee and throw him the ball. The nearest one, throw him the ball so he can spot it as soon as he possibly can.
Isn't that one of the first things you were taught?
Yes. We were taught that in junior high school.
The game.
Yes.
Geets, you played the game. I've called it for 27 years. Isn't that one of the first things I've been around? We've all been around football many, many moons.
Every single day you run team takeoff.
Right.
Team takeoff. You start the day with team takeoff, which is 2-minute drill, running plays nonstop, and going through every scenario of a 2-minute drill that the coach can think of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every single one of them. Every single day. This is in high school.
With 3 timeouts.
In the NFL, they've got to do this at least 10 times a day.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Cole, read this. This is our first break of the day.
Okay. This breakdown of the Dallas Cowboys disaster at Santa Clara is brought to you by Campbell Clutch Wrestling Academy. We either make you champions or we make you humble.
Thank you to the Iron Sheik.
Thank you, Sheiky baby.
Thank you. Listen, Iron Sheik was a villain, but I loved him.
Oh,
I love the Iron Sheik, man.
He's a lovable villain.
And he played that so well. He played that so well.
Yeah, because you think that was really him, but it's like, no, that's not true.
No, it's not him.
That's not him at all. I've actually met the Iron Sheik.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
And he is such a funny dude.
Yeah.
I know it is.
And every single story back in the day when people talked about Iron Sheik, they'd say, that dude had me in stitches. Every last one of them.
I believe it.
Every last one of them. But yeah, man. But to your point, Snowman.
To Victor's point, 2-minute drills are a thing for a reason.
Yeah, but to Deese's point, they would actually run 2-minute drills if you have 3 timeouts, if you have 2 timeouts, if you have 1 timeout, if you have no timeouts.
Yeah, you go through the timeout stage. I've watched practices with many of the teams I've called games for. Brother Rice High School, Michigan City High School. They run the 2-minute drill with every level of timeouts: 3, 2, 1, and none. And that's 4 different stages.
And we're talking pro here.
Mm-hmm.
They did this when I was playing in junior high school.
Yep.
So there's no way that a pro team can have a brain fart with that type of fundamental understanding.
Listen,
no way.
I've watched practices at my high school alma mater, Fenger High School in Chicago. They were doing the same thing then, and this was 1988, 89, and 90. When I really began to, I knew I had a grip on the game because I've watched it with Dad, but seeing it at that level, at the local level,
you get a bigger grip on it.
You get a better, understanding on what they're doing. And I had the coach explain it to me.
Yeah,
I had this was honestly my first foray into journalism, into sports journalism. I'm like, what are you doing? And then he politely walked over and explained it to me. Okay, this is what we do with 3 timeouts. This is what we do with 2 timeouts, 1 timeout, and no timeout. The trick is we do this within 120
seconds. Right. That's how it's supposed to be. No matter if you have to use all 3 timeouts, you use 2, you use 1, or if you and you actually do, they actually have you run it 2-minute offense with no timeouts.
With no timeouts
to start.
That's you run it with no timeouts, and you execute every play on the script or off script that you can. Cool McCain joining us.
What's up, Cool?
How are you, my man? Cool. I want to see if I can get you on tomorrow or later today to talk NFC Championship. In fact, let's do a quick reset and we'll break down the championship games right now.
All right. Well, let's do this type of reset. You're now inside hour number 2 of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. We are joined by Christopher Dietz. Here you go.
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular. Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jay.
Well, I know he's only in his 3rd year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2,
the hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2,
the one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour 2, Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2, that's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2,
YSL.
Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now. My partner, my executive producer, ain't got a lick of sense when he was putting this promo when he was putting this intro together. It's hour 2, Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. That's Cole. That's Dietz. I'm the Snowman. We're breaking down what happened last Sunday, and we're getting into what's going to happen possibly this Sunday. And if y'all missed it, Dietz went completely off.
Yeah,
and in 3 words, he's not done.
No, but before we continue, I have to do a formal apology on this mic to Dietz, to King Doc, to Ben, and to Victor for the fact that you all have to root for a team which is so inept at ownership and at head coaching. Forget the quarterback. They are so inept in those 2 positions that they handicap your team before you set on foot on a field. I am so sorry you support a team that is that inept, because this is frustrating to me. You have the talent to go much further than you do, yet you have the leadership screw it up.
Listen, I saw a post on Facebook after the 49ers game.
Oh,
that said,
before you do, there you go, Snowman.
Okay,
I'll send an invite to him.
Okay, get him. Let's get him up here.
Yeah.
I saw a post on Facebook that read,
quote,
"We would have won that game if San Francisco if we had a quality head coach."
Well, close quote.
I jumped all over that.
I really can't disagree with that.
I can't either, but I added something to it and dropped a howitzer.
Oh, please.
I said, well, A, you're right. B, you had one. His name's Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, and your owner, Jarrell, was too egotistical to keep him around.
Because Jimmy put that 90s Cowboys team together. Not Jarrell. All Jarrell did was sign the checks.
That's right.
Jimmy Johnson executed that team.
That was a Jimmy Johnson production. Yeah. And that's the best. That's
every single move.
Every single team Jimmy put together
was championship level success.
Remember, Miami was unstoppable.
They were beasts. They were unstoppable after he left.
And remember, when he left, the best thing about the reason why I always say Jimmy Johnson is the best college coach of all time is when he left, Dennis Erickson took over, and Dennis Erickson is in his office, and the leader of the defense walks in and goes, "You do whatever you want with the offense. You do not touch this defense, and we'll win you a championship."
Right.
A college kid walked in and told Dennis Erickson, "You don't talk to us. You do you, we'll do us, and we'll win a championship." And what they do, they went out and they were beating teams like 52-0.
Yeah, but they went out
and they blasted Nebraska in the Rose Bowl.
They were boat racing teams. Yeah,
they absolutely obliterated Nebraska in the Rose Bowl.
But that was Jimmy put that team. Jimmy put all that together, and then of course he goes to the Cowboys, puts the Cowboys together, and we know how that goes. And people can say the Super Bowl in well, I call it 94 because it was the 94 season, but 95, whatever. In the Super Bowl against Pittsburgh, everybody knows those were Jimmy's guys.
That was 95. That was a 95.
It was not Barry Switzer winning a championship. That was Barry Switzer.
Yeah,
he managed. I guess you could say he managed.
He did.
He
managed.
He just basically was like, all right.
He was a caretaker. Yeah, he was a caretaker.
He was a caretaker.
But that was 95 because
and Gerald's boy.
Yeah,
all right.
That was not. Yeah, and then that was 95 because the Niners won 94. So yeah,
let's bring on the man in charge of the Eagles Elite and the Play Caller Sports Network and a friendly opponent of mine for this Sunday, Mr. Cool McCain. Are you with us?
There he is.
I see him.
All right, we see him.
Matter of fact, let me greet him properly while he gets his connection together. Let me greet him properly because yeah, I got it. I have no problem playing this.
Gentlemen.
Hey.
There he is.
What's up, brother?
We got your theme song playing.
What's up, brother?
To victory. E-A-T-L-E-S, Eagles!
So
Sunday is going to be a slobber knocker in Philadelphia.
Sunday.
Kickoff
at 3 p.m. Eastern in South Philadelphia. Lincoln Financial
Field
is going to be the epicenter of a titanic clash, literally.
The episode. Listen, it's gonna shake on both coasts. It's gonna shake. The world is going to shake in two different cities on Sunday afternoon at 3:30.
This type of game is the reason why I love football. I love it when there's teams that they from the rip, from jump, they get off the bus and they say, we are more man than you. We don't believe you are man enough to beat us. And we're going to punch you in the mouth every single play. Both these teams believe in that, and I love it.
Well, this is gonna be an interesting game because, like you said, Snowman, it's gonna be a slobber knocker, but it depends on what kind of slobber knocker it is for each team to win.
It's a different style of slobber knocker. I agree.
If it's a slobber knocker, low scoring game, the 49ers have the edge.
That plays the 49ers.
If it's a slobber knocker, high scoring,
then it's all Eagles.
Teams going back up and down the field.
Then it's all
Eagles have the advantage. So whichever way it becomes a slobber knocker is going to dictate which team has the advantage.
What can you say about both the quarterbacks, 24-year-old Jalen Hurts, 23-year-old Brock Purdy, locking horns for the NFC Championship this Sunday?
I mean,
we've seen Hurts all year. MVP candidate. Brock Purdy has come on lately, and he's in line for offensive rookie of the year. Let me throw it to Deeds first. What can you say about both of these young quarterbacks establishing themselves for their teams coming into Sunday?
Well, think about it. Every single week it has been, Brock Purdy, first playoff game. This is his first playoff game. The Seahawks will show him what's up. No, they didn't.
Nope.
Brock Purdy, now he faces a real defense in the Cowboys, and no fault of the Cowboys defense. Cowboys defense played spectacular.
None.
But Brock Purdy navigated it and did the one thing that nobody else, that the Cowboys did not do. He did not turn the ball over.
And that's the greatest part. The Cowboys balled out defensively. Brock Purdy just figured it out as he went along. He just figured it out.
Yeah. And now everybody says, all right, now the Eagles are going to show much. Every single time these people that are doubting Brock Purdy just keep moving the goalposts. Like, all right, you survived the Seahawks. Now you got to survive the Cowboys. Now you got to survive the Eagles. So what happens? What happens when if Brock Purdy?
Well, let me greet Cool McCain again.
Do you move the goalposts to a Super Bowl? Like, no.
Let me greet Cool McCain again.
The Eagles fan extraordinaire.
And I have to play his theme song, which I don't mind.
Go ahead, good doctor.
Let's hear it, Cool.
EAGLES Eagles.
We are now joined by the
Eagles do we have Cool McCain in the house,
moderator and main host.
All the Eagles are coming out.
Cool McCain, and I know he is happy about this coming Sunday.
Listen,
how are you, brother?
Cool McCain did a fabulous job on the Eagles Elite podcast. I jumped in last night with both the hashtags Faithful to the Bay and Fly Eagles Fly, and Cool said to me, Snowman, are you a little confused? I'll answer your question. Hell no, I'm not confused, because I've taken heart to both teams. Yeah. So I have two horses in the race, like I told you last night. So this is gonna be a great Sunday for me. Talk to me, Cool. What you got for us?
Well, the first thing I want to say is we see your third team you're wearing right now as well.
Hey, showing support for the wife. Okay, this is how we let off. This is how we let off the show. That team is how we let off the show.
That team wants to keep Jeff Saturday on the sideline.
Listen,
they need all the support they can get.
Wait a minute.
Right now.
Wait a minute. Yeah. What did Cool ask me the other night? Has Jody kicked down the doors to Lucas Oil Stadium? Not yet, but she wants to.
She's coming close.
She wants to. Man,
I'm glad to finally talk about this with you.
Cool. How happy are you with the Eagles not only playing for the NFC title, but hosting the NFC title at Lincoln Financial Field?
No, before we get there, how did you like that performance Saturday
against the Giants?
I was relieved. I'll be honest. I mean, it's a divisional team. It's the third time we played them.
Right.
And I wasn't concerned with what happened in the second game because Hurts was just coming back. There was really a complete pullback of the playbook. They started that in week 14. They just stopped doing everything and just got basic as I don't know what. So
right.
I wasn't necessarily concerned about that, but I was just relieved to win because once you're in the second round of the playoffs, you're playing quality teams.
Yes.
You know, a couple bad plays and you can lose.
Man, I've been hearing as I was perusing social media.
I told you about that mess.
The disrespect, and I know you can go in on this, Cool. The disrespect that I was hearing about the Eagles after that game against the Giants, where they were basically saying two different things. One of them was, well, the Giants really were a nothing team. I mean, they should have beat them. And the other was, well, the Eagles, there's no, I mean, the only reason why they're 14-3 was because they played a weak schedule. And I'm like, what?
I've heard all of that.
What?
I heard all of that.
This team won a division that had the toughest road to go. No team was under 500. They are the champions of that division. And you mean to tell me their schedule was weak?
Oh, please.
That entire division was
and they played a second place schedule this year because, oh, by the way, they finished second place last year and went to the playoffs.
Yep.
Weak schedule, please.
So, Cole, the funny thing about it is the way the media is spinning this game is the 49ers are this unstoppable juggernaut. The Eagles don't even really belong here.
And that's a
lie.
That's a falsehood. That's a falsehood.
Here's a crazy factoid.
Ooh.
The San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, after the season were over, played the two weakest schedules in the NFL. But
after the season was over.
Yeah. But the 49ers are this unstoppable, unbeatable machine. And the Eagles basically sucked their way into being the best team in the NFL because they didn't play anybody.
Okay,
so what's going to be funny is even when this game is over, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even when this game is over,
mm-hmm.
whichever team wins, the argument is going to be whoever wins, you didn't play anybody.
You didn't play
right
because the Eagles didn't deserve to be there, and the 49ers had Brock Purdy, and we know at some point he wasn't going to play as well, and they played a weak schedule too.
Right.
The Eagles was just a little bit weaker, so that's what we were focused on.
Yeah,
But
and so
guess
people
what?
are going to have a built-in excuse as to why the team
and it's not fair. And it's not fair for either team that the fans, and I put that word in quotes for a reason, are going to have built-in excuses for either team. At the top of the season, I said 49ers and Eagles for the NFC Championship because, I said throughout the course of the summer, to anyone who was within shouting distance, these were the two best teams in the NFC. And taking Dietz and Victor and King Dog and Ben out of the equation, I got laced by Cowboy fans. I got laced by Rams fans.
Of course.
Good God.
You didn't get laced by Eagles fans.
Huh?
You didn't get laced by
They didn't get laced by Eagles fans. Of course not. Because you showed proper respect for the team. Yeah.
Cool. You and I have known each other 2.5 years now. How many times?
That's all?
I think that's all.
Can you think it's been longer? Right. You think it'd be longer, man.
You think it would be long?
Crazy.
Look, when Cool told me when I first got to know him, first of all, I gave him the moniker "Danger is his business" in reference to an old cartoon character called Cool McCool, which is the first nickname I gave him. The second thing I told him was, "Hey, I love your Eagles and what they're doing." So, hey, I mean every word of that. And I know this Sunday's game is going to be a fight and a half because you're playing for a trip to Phoenix, Arizona. And on top of that, because of the way the 49ers season ended last year and the way the Eagles season ended last year, not many big time pundits, and I put the word big time in quotes, gave either of these teams a chance in hell of reaching where they are on Sunday.
No, because they thought it was going to be the Cowboys and possibly the Rams again. Yeah,
I do want to appreciate Chris Dietz and his Cowboys because what they did on Sunday with a team that also everybody said doesn't have a run defense was they showed some things that can be done.
Yes,
that's why I was going to go. That's why I was going to go.
That running defense. So thank you, Cowboys, for that. Actually,
that's why I was going to go. I think because on my show I already selected who I think is going to advance the Super Bowl from this game.
Yep.
Part of why I came to that decision was the fact that the blueprint I think was made by the Cowboys and how you could find a way to make the game smaller and make the magnitude of the game bigger for Brock Purdy. And I think if that's the case, the Eagles have the defense where you can do that.
Yes, they do.
Well, you have to understand. Brock Purdy is a young quarterback. So what are young quarterbacks? How do you get into a young quarterback's mind? You get pressure.
Yeah.
Where do you get pressure? Where does the pressure affect them the most?
Up the middle.
Up the middle.
Where do the Eagles have their two best players?
Up the middle on the line.
Right on the defensive line.
Yeah. Up the middle on the defensive line. Yeah.
Yep, we led the league in sacks.
Those
will be hit.
Lead tackles 70.
And what's big? What was big?
Ramen with 16 of them.
Yep. and what was big for the Eagles and Cool? You mentioned this a few weeks ago. The fact that not only you got the number 1 seed, you got a bye, so you guys could heal.
Rest.
That was huge before you faced the Giants.
And Avonte Maddox should be back this week as well.
Yes. So now we're
secondary addition, man, because he was rolling before he got injured.
Yeah, he was.
He was rolling.
So now,
second time.
And what's great? The other thing that's great about this game, both teams are completely healthy.
That's going to be a beautiful.
Both teams are completely healthy. Both teams are completely ready.
So you know where I'm going to be watching. It's going to be both trenches.
Yep.
That's where my eyes are directed toward.
Whoever wins in the trenches will win this game.
Because that's going to be some good battles, boy.
And you got two of the best lines on both sides of the ball for both teams. And the biggest improvement, and Cole and I discussed this earlier in the week, the biggest improvement for San Francisco has been their offensive line. After we got lambasted by Kansas City in Santa Clara, that made the 49ers, especially along the front, along the offensive line, they took it personally after that.
Yeah, and they become bullies. They become bullies on
cool.
the offensive line.
Cool. I got to tell you that the reason why I have said, and I've had debates with people in some of the chat rooms, but the reason why I say Nick Sirianni is coach of the year is you've seen what he's done. Hey, most people would say take their best offensive tackle and put him on the blind side of the quarterback.
Right.
And say, you know what? We need a good left tackle. Well, what have the Eagles done? Oh, Jalen Hurts likes to roll to his right.
Right.
And they put him
on. So we're going to put
Lane
Johnson at right tackle instead of doing the normal thing. We're going to do what works best for our guy. And that's why their line has succeeded. When they moved Lane Johnson to the right side, their line got infinitely better.
He's always been the right tackle. He was supposed to be the future left tackle, but he's always been the right tackle. So what Hurts did was realized my strength is over here. Now, his backside is protected, but my strength is here. So when I'm making my movements, as you said, I'm going to my strength because I know Lane Johnson's there. I know Jason Kelce can pull and help out on either side as well. Because, even as advanced in age as he is, he's still a mobile guy. He's a little undersized, which works with the mobility.
Right.
The biggest thing, though, is confidence, right?
Yes.
They asked Jalen Hurts in his interview yesterday. They said, do you take any time and reflect back on the season and how well you guys have played? And his response was no, because we still have more work to do.
Yeah, no.
So in his mind, none of that matters.
Right.
So, people talk about Sirianni for coach of the year. He's not even a candidate. They accidentally put him on, but he's not a candidate.
I agree.
And I love the way you said that.
I agree with that. I agree with that, but it's not a shot at Sirianni at all.
Yeah.
No.
And the thing is, he doesn't care about that.
Exactly.
Jalen Hurts is up for the MVP. He's not going to win it.
You don't care about that either.
He don't care about that. Hassan Reddick is the defensive player of the year. He's not even
He's not even in the
conversation.
He doesn't care about that.
Right.
Because guess what? All those things are wonderful, and there's a little $500,000 $1 million bonus. Whoop-de-doo, they'll steal that from your taxes anyway.
Right.
But the goal is to win a Super Bowl.
Hold that Vince Lombardi trophy.
That's the only one that matters. You want to be MVP of something, be MVP of the Super Bowl. You want to be winning coach, be the coach that's won the Super Bowl. The thing is, there is no interest in individual awards on this team. With that being the case,
both teams. That's both teams.
That's what I love for everybody.
That's why I love both
and
teams.
I'm not saying that the 49ers aren't that way either.
Right.
But I'll let Snowman say what the 49ers are, because that's not my
the 49ers are the same way.
You know what I'm saying?
Because no one gave the 49ers a chance to bounce back after losing in Los Angeles to the Rams with a beat-up team on which took the last play of the last game of the season to get them in the playoffs. So nothing was expected for San Francisco anyway.
To be fair, the reason why that was the case, you were starting Trey Lance.
Right.
So that's why a lot of people were off the bandwagon of the 49ers.
As soon as y'all threw Jimmy G back in, your expectations went back to going back in the playoffs.
So people thought, okay, so this is a rebuilding year for the 49ers when they put Lance in there, and then when Lance went down in week 2 and Garoppolo went in, and you all had your struggles.
Yes, we did.
But once after the Chiefs game, you started to see how this team started to gel, both offensively and defensively, with Garoppolo leading the team. It's like what Cool said. The expectation of the 49ers went up. The respect level of the 49ers in terms of them being a contender went up too.
And it's off the charts to see the way that this team came together. And again, I highlight the transition between the Chiefs game in Santa Clara and the Rams game in Los Angeles, and the way everything just clicked.
That was a mighty jump for a short amount of time.
Yeah. And there was so much to think about. There were so many questions with San Francisco. Half of them I posed on this program after we got beat up by the Chiefs. Like, what the hell are we going to do now? The game that made the 49ers season was the following week in Los Angeles, because they had to bounce back, and they had to do it in a hurry. Otherwise, They don't win that game, their season is buried.
You know the game that made the Philadelphia Eagles season?
The first one.
Nope, the loss to the Commanders. That's what
loss to the Redskins.
I was going to say
that was the game that made.
And that was a Monday. That was a Monday night game.
Yeah, it was a Monday night game.
That was a Monday night game.
And the funny thing was, people wanted to, because I remember hearing this, people wanted to actually assign L's to the Eagles when they were winning, because they were saying before that L with the Commanders, they were saying, okay, yeah, they won, but yeah, they won this game, but
and they could take all those butts and they could shove them up their butts.
And the thing is, it did not matter. They were still notching W's.
They were still winning. They were still winning.
That's all that mattered. So the only thing for me with the Eagles was if they could shore up, and we talked about this, Cool. If they could shore up their defensive interior in terms of run defense, if they could do that, if they could do that, if they could do that, they'd be fine. They did that,
and they recognized that, and they said, "Hey, Ndamukong Suh, you're not doing anything. Come on over."
They did that.
Joseph, bring that big old body and stuff. Something.
They did that with a sledgehammer. And oh, by the way, we do have a man child in Jordan Davis who's licking his wounds. He'll come back, and we'll have this wonderful 3-man rotation on the interior line.
Mm-hmm.
And then Robert Quinn is finally healthy again too.
Right.
The most superior thing about both of these teams, as I greet the folks at the Strikeout Beer podcast in Texas.
What's up, brothers?
They're joining us this morning. Eric Wallace joining us as well. Eric put in the chat where you're from. We'll shout you and your home.
What up, Vic too? What up, Vic too?
Yeah,
Vic's in Chicago. What's up, Vic?
Yeah,
Vic's in Chicago. The most superior thing about both of these teams, and Cool, you and I have talked about this, Cole, you and I as well, their depth. Their depth.
Especially on the defensive line.
Especially on the defense.
I was going to say, and this is where both teams mirror each other. Defensive line, you have a rotating amount of people on both lines.
And Fletcher Cox, who has been amazing, but just overshadowed by people's love of Aaron Donald. Yeah. Fletcher Cox is just as good,
if not better in some cases.
Fletcher Cox his career has been just as good.
He's just that lunch pail type of guy where it's like, look, I may not have the sexy stats, but
I don't care.
I don't care. You know, your offense has the game plan for me.
Yep.
They have to find a way to stop me.
They have to find a way to stop me. Exactly. Mr. McCain, I'm not going to make any bets with you because I love the Eagles. I'm not going to, because normally in a situation like this, I'd make a friendly bet. I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to do Sunday is buy a whole bunch of snacks and a whole bunch of drinks, and I will be able to salute either team that wins. I already got Fly Eagles Fly on my computer, which I have the feeling I'm going to be playing quite a few times. Hell, I got it on my phone.
I hope you're playing it Monday.
I will. Should the Eagles win, I will be more than honored to fire up that song for you.
Snowman, I've got the bet for you.
Okay.
If your team wins, you shake Cool's hand. If Cool's team wins, he shakes your hand.
Well, if that's the case, we're gonna be shaking hands before, during, and after the game anyway.
That's the gentleman's bet.
The gentleman's bet.
Listen, if that's the case, Cool and I are going to be shaking hands and sharing hugs throughout the game anyway.
All I care about is I want to see both offensive lines toss people out the club, and both defensive lines just simply
run over
show
people.
the athletic ability and make it like difficult for the
man, it's gonna be
that's
fun.
all I want to see.
Cool McCain of the Eagles Elite Podcast joining us along with Chris Dietz as we break down the NFC Championship game. Let me say thank you to both of you gentlemen, and Cool, I'm going to be watching with focused eyes just like you are on Sunday and Monday. Either way, I want to get you on this program. Dietz, I know I'll have you back as well so we can break down both championship games. Thank you, fellas. Appreciate the time.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I can't wait for that other game too.
Oh, the other game's gonna be nice.
Oh, the other game's gonna be a nice one.
Man, it'll be all right. No,
well, you guys see you guys are so lucky. You guys get your game first. So you guys get yours is going to be out of the way, and then you just get to have fun watching that last game.
We get our slobber knocker out of the way, and then Cool and I sit down, share snacks and drinks, and reminisce on the game. It's all right. It makes
disrespectful. Why?
I leave you two with
the
this.
shade.
Wait a minute. I'll leave you two with this. You know who threw some shade at my house with that very statement? Jody.
Oh.
Because Jody looked at me and she says, "Who's playing the other game?" I said, "It's the Chiefs and the Bengals." And she says, "And you guys got the first game? That's kind of foul."
Well, you could tell her.
You could tell her to me.
Yeah, but you could tell it was preset, right?
Yeah,
I already had decided. Yeah, it was preset.
I mean,
because if they had the ability to change it, I think
they'd have flexed the hell out of this.
My thoughts.
Yeah, but that's true. That's exactly what happened. Because last year the Bengals and the Chiefs, their kickoff was 3 p.m. So yeah.
By the way, before I go, I'll give you a little hint towards. Obviously we got Fifth Down Sports Show 8:00 tonight. You saw a little preview of it before. If you thought that was electric, wait until I get into each episode of this garbage show.
And I will carry the show tonight on the SDM Sports Radio.
But you will also get I'll give you a little snippet, and I'll explain it on the show tonight why the Super Bowl will be renamed the Andy Reid Bowl.
Really?
Oh boy.
You think that? Okay.
Oh boy. And it's totally possible.
It's possible. Okay.
It's totally possible. I wouldn't mind.
I
would not mind that. I would not mind that. I would not mind that at all. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate the time. Love you both.
I just
thank you guys.
Say shout out to the NFC Beast, the podcast, as well as the division.
Yes.
Because it's tough being the best of the best division.
Mm-hmm.
If the Commanders had not let us down, we would have had all 4 teams in the playoffs. The Commanders commandered. That's what they do.
Oh.
You try to give them props, you try to pull them up, you try to give them positive energy, but they're just going to be who they are.
Well, I'll help y'all cool. They started Carson Wentz on the game they got eliminated.
The thing
Which
is,
should tell you everything you need to know about
you
that.
had a chance to make the playoffs, and you
went with Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz in the game.
This is
whatever's decision that was should have been fired as soon as that game was over. I don't care if it's Ron Rivera. I don't care if it's the GM, whoever's decision it was to put that soft pile of monkey poo in the game to be the quarterback in a game they needed to win to make the playoffs is a joke. You had 2 other better quarterbacks on your roster.
Yep.
And that's the guy you went with. He should have been on the scout team all season.
I'm with you. They should have put Sam Howell in there if they didn't want to put Taylor Heineken in there.
Agreed.
I'm with you on that, man.
Alt TV, the sad part is you are right. They didn't even know that they could be eliminated. That's the sad part.
Yes.
The sad part about it.
I was going to say, they went from having the 7th seed in that game to being eliminated.
in 3 hours.
3 hours.
In 3 hours.
But you
lost. Wait a minute.
Wentz in.
And then lost to the Browns.
You put Carson Wentz in. Carson Wentz couldn't have beat the Carolina Panthers.
They lost.
He couldn't beat last year's Jacksonville Jaguars with a playoff game on the Colts. The Colts learned that the hard way, and they shipped them out.
He couldn't have beat the Chicago Bears or the Indianapolis Colts this year, who were trying to have the number 1.
And we knew the Bears were tanking this year,
right?
We knew last year, Colts at Jacksonville. Jody and I were battling COVID at the time. We saw the first drive of the game where the Jaguars went right down
with
the
a pick
field.
6.
Yeah, and that was after they handed the game to the Raiders the week before.
Yes, they we saw the Jaguars march right down the field in 10 plays, stick it in the end zone. They led 7-0. I looked at Jody. She looked at me, and we were like, "Screw it,
it's a wrap.
Turn the television off."
Well, I told you last year when you traded for Carson Wentz, your season was over.
Yep,
I said that. I told you.
You did.
And I told the Commanders this year, If you start Carson Wentz, you will lose games.
You will
they
lose.
started Carson
And they did.
Wentz,
And
they
they lost
winning
games.
games.
After
They
we
took him
won,
out. They started winning games. The most important game of the season, they put him back in, and now they sat at home on the couch from the beginning. That's where they deserve to be, based on their own poor decision making. Like Hawk TV said, what head coach admits that they lack situational awareness? I'll tell you who admits that. A guy that doesn't want to be there because he knows the organization is trash.
Yep.
He just wants to be let
horrible
go.
in the organization. Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
And
also shout out
and
to
Hawk
my,
and Hawk TV don't disagree with you either, because he calls it out. He says, "Man, it's horrendous franchise." I'm with him on that too.
Well, I got
need new ownership.
Speaking of
Yes,
Washington,
ownership, yeah.
I got something cooking where former Redskin tight end Doc Walker will join me on my afternoon show. We're working out a day and a time next week where I can get him on, and Scott Fox, who is in charge of the Champion Playbook, will jump on next week as well to talk the glory of the Washington Redskins. That's all next week. Thank you, Deets. Thank you, Cool. Love you, brothers.
Gentlemen.
Appreciate you both coming on today.
What's up, Cool?
Quick shameless plug. Tomorrow
Yes.
night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, your boy Cool McCain, Philadelphia Eagles fan extraordinaire,
All right,
will be on the Play Call Sports Talk show, playcallsportstalk.com/live, with one of the most diehard 49ers fans I know, my co-host, Stephen Box. That will be a fun watch for you guys.
If you need me, I'm available.
Like I said, it'll be a fun watch.
Yep.
Hey, if you want to come through,
it's
going to be a lot of talk about the NFC Championship game.
Yes,
tomorrow night.
And congratulations, man.
That's going to be the entirety of the show. Mr. McCain, honor to you, sir. All the love, my man. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys for having me, man.
As well.
You're
awesome. All the love to you both. Thank you.
Love you, brother.
Good luck. Good luck, guys. Have a
thank you.
Make it a great watch for us at home.
Indeed.
Hey,
Indeed.
and nobody likes us and we don't care. Don't ever root for the Eagles. Always hate on us. Always say we can't do it. We love it. We feed off of it. If you turn it around, we might lose. Don't stop.
Yeah. He says it about his Eagles. I say the same about my 49ers. Thanks, guys.
No bandwagoners. Okay. I appreciate it, bro.
How much do the Eagles and 49ers share in common coming into Sunday? Too damn much or not enough?
You know what's funny? The Eagles, they live in a city that's blue collar. And I embrace Philly. I love Philly. Same. And the team embraces the energy of the city. What I find so interesting is that the 49ers they don't embrace the energy of the area. I mean, because you do have intelligence in the area. I mean, Silicon
Valley, yeah.
And the team has intelligence too, yes. But that team is blue. That team is as blue collar as it gets too. And I think when you get those two energies together, there's going to be some mutual respect, obviously.
Yes,
but you love the competition of an opponent that believes you similarly think that you can push us around, and we think that we can push you around. You get geeked. You get geeked because you want to prove that you are the team that can push the other around.
I cannot wait for some. I'm not even going to watch
that.
I'm not going to watch the AFC Championship game because I'm just going to run over Kansas City. And the game of the day, the game of the day is in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and as a person who's played on offensive line, love it.
Listen,
love it. And you go and you don't want to hurt the guy. You just want to show that you have more might than the other, and you respect that this guy thinks he has more might than you, and made a better man win. And that is really the energy you see with these two teams. It's great. It's great, and that's going to be a wonderful game, and I look forward to it.
I told you, I love both teams. Philadelphia is like my adopted NFC franchise. Of course, my original, which is the 49ers.
Right.
Listen, every time Philadelphia and San Francisco gets together, it's a slobber knocker, whether it be regular season or playoffs. Every time they get together, it's going to be a slobber knocker. But the key is, if it's a low-scoring game, it's in favor of Frisco. If it's a high-scoring game, it's in favor of Philadelphia. And I'm totally cool with that.
It's the best way I think you can put it is the 49ers want to make it basically similar to that of how they played Sunday night.
Yes.
They don't mind it if it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. They don't really mind that, because how Shanahan thinks, and I think how the team feeds off of it is, okay, we're just going to basically crack at that wall. We're just going to pound at that wall, pound that wall, pound that wall. There's going to be a time when that wall breaks, and then we can do exactly what we want to do. But until then, we're happy just pounding at that wall. Conversely, the Eagles are like, we want to make this a track meet, but it's not the track meet of we're going to throw it all over the place.
No.
They can do that, but that's not really what they want to do.
They want to run it.
They want to run you until your tongue wags.
They want to run you until you're out of breath.
And the danger, and the physical part about that is any offensive lineman, and I can tell you because I was one, they hate pass protection. They love run blocking.
Run blocking.
They
love it.
They salivate for the opportunity to run block.
I'll tell you
They want to knock people down on turf. So if it means that you get to run sweeps, quarterback sweeps, which the Eagles like to do,
you get to hit people.
Oh gosh, you get to hit people. So Lane Johnson's like, oh, you're calling this? Cool. I'm a pancake 2 people on your way to get around the curve.
Lane Johnson for the Eagles, Trent Williams for San Francisco.
Yeah, and conversely, Trent Williams, he wants to hear sweep so he can push 2 people down.
The scariest thing, and Green Bay experienced this last year in the playoffs, is Trent Williams in motion.
Oh, Trent Williams pulling.
Trent Williams.
You want to talk about a scary sight? You have a guy who definitely, if he's 310, he's light. The dude running downhill, he can move, and he took 2 people down on a pull. I'm like, ooh. That was beautiful to watch, man.
I think this promo by Sig Dig is appropriate since we're talking football. Hour 2 is proudly brought to you by Slam Hard Spinach, the spinach that slams hard. Thank you, Sig, for that promo.
But yeah,
listen, Lane Johnson on one side, Trent Williams on the other. I'm salivating for this game.
Yeah,
this is the feature game. Jody even asked me, are we going to even watch the second game? And I said, do you want to watch the second game? She said, hell no. Matter of fact, Jody gave me this answer. Give me Bishop Bullwinkle. When when I asked her, do you really want to watch the AFC Championship?
Woo! Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
Well, too bad you will be missing a good game there, too.
I know. We're going to wind up watching it anyway. I know. But I will repeat my score tomorrow, but I'll also give it here.
I've heard it, yeah.
17-14 San Francisco. It's going to come down.
Ooh.
I know it's going to be so tough for 2 teams averaging 30-plus points per game coming into this.
Yeah, both of them, yeah.
Niners 32-6, Eagles 34-5. I wouldn't be surprised if there's only 500 combined yards of offense. Conversely, I wouldn't be surprised if there was 1,500 combined yards of offense. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah, I think Deeps was onto something when he was saying that. Yeah, if it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust and it's a low scoring game, that favors 49ers. If it's more of a track meet, it favors the Eagles.
It favors the Eagles. Yes.
But both teams can play either style. That's also something that you.
That's the scary part about this game.
Both teams can play either style.
Yes,
both of them can.
That's the scary part about this game.
Now for me, it just breaks down. To me, it breaks down the quarterbacks. And it isn't that I think that Purdy can't do it. Right. It's not even that.
Right.
It's not even that. I'm looking at the defense he's facing. And do they have the ability to make what he does difficult?
That's not the only X factor I have in this game. I got 2 more. One is Christian McCaffrey and how Shanahan plans him, because that's This is the biggest game.
That's X factor and a key to the game.
This is the biggest game of McCaffrey's career.
Period.
Because remember, until this year, McCaffrey's never seen the postseason.
Never seen the playoffs. Yeah, never seen the playoffs. Yeah.
Now he's about to play his third postseason game. And the other X factor for me on offense, George Kittle. And here's the reason why I say George Kittle is an X factor on offense. In the last 4 games, I'm going back to the regular season. Last 4 games of the regular season, he caught 7 touchdown passes, including a stretch where he caught 2 apiece in back-to-back games. Seattle, he caught 2, and I don't think it was Washington where he caught 2, but it was Seattle in the game before where he caught 2.
Was it the Buccaneers?
Thank you. That's it. But the Buccaneers game is what put Brock Purdy on the map. And the one play where he laid it into Christian McCaffrey in the first half beautifully. Even where McCaffrey had the ball stripped, he was able to regain possession and tap his toe in bounds.
I'm so glad you mentioned Kittle. So this is, to me, the biggest key in Purdy's favor. If there is a weakness, and when I say weakness, I'm not saying, well, this is going to be the detriment of the team.
Yeah.
But if there's a weakness to me on the Eagles defense, to me, it's the linebacking core. So
yes,
if Kittle can exploit that, because if he goes further, you get into the secondary, and to me, the Eagles secondary is one of the coldest in the game.
Oh my God, yes.
So if
yes.
So if they can find a way to exploit the middle of the field there, and they don't have a safety cheat and come down,
because they'll safeties cheat a lot.
They safeties cheat.
They cheat, and they're gonna be cheating their ass off.
Yeah,
trying to keep a hold of Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel.
Right. So if it's possible that you can have Kittle exploit the linebacking core,
yes,
that could get the confidence that I believe Purdy needs to have established, like he did Sunday night, where that seems to be what the Cowboys are trying to do, and he took that bootleg rollout where where in the third quarter where he found Kittle,
the one to Kittle, the 33-yarder to Kittle.
Yep. And once that completion was made, where Purdy actually got a chance to see a big time play was made, to me, his, I won't say favorite, but to me, the most important target for him.
That got him settled down.
Yeah, that settled him down, and he played much better. He didn't play bad, but he played tight.
He was very tight.
He played tight.
He was very tight. The best thing about Purdy, and the comparison I can make between him and Mr. Prescott. How many times has Prescott thrown for 300 yards in a playoff game?
If I'm not mistaken, no, 1, because he did throw for 300 yards against the Bucks.
Yeah. How long did it take Prescott to do that?
Well, that was his 7th game? 7th playoff game, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what the greatest thing is? Brock Purdy
Purdy
also has a 300-yard playoff passing game, and it came in his first one, and he didn't start that well.
No, he started rocky in the first half of that game.
He was rocky in the first half, but second half, please.
Yeah. So to me, that's the key. If the Eagles can keep Purdy tense, tight, actually have him feel the weight of the moment. If they can make him feel as though, oh wow, this is the NFC Championship game. The next that means if we win this, we can go to Super Bowl. If they can keep him in his mind like that, then the success of the Eagles can be greater.
But the scariest thing is, I don't think you can shake him.
Oh, I'm not saying you shake him that way. I'm just saying, just make him want to do more than he should, or press him into a mistake.
And again, it goes back to me thinking, I don't think that can happen. And then it's not a slight to Philadelphia. It's not a slight to them at all.
No, you're bigging up Purdy, which
I'm bigging up both. I'm thinking of both sides.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Purdy
And the same
can't
holds true
overcome
with Jalen. And the same holds true with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but the difference between Purdy and Hurts now has had 2 full seasons as NFL starter under his belt now.
Right.
And both years he ended up being in the playoffs. And now he has a playoff victory under his belt too. So people can't even say that and put that on the shoulder and say, well, yeah, you've been in the playoffs, but you haven't won a game. Well, that's done.
The wild thing is I actually heard fans compare Brock Purdy to Kyler Murray. I'm not kidding. I saw that.
There isn't a comparison. They're 2 different quarterbacks.
Very different.
I mean, you'd be better to compare Kyler Murray with Jalen Hurts, and I don't even think they're similar.
In 4 words, Jalen Hurts is better.
He's far better.
Jalen Hurts is more mature than Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is with Purdy, and you said it, and the key is going to be, can you keep him? Can you make him believe the magnitude of the moment and have him do something A, off schedule, and B, bigger than what he's attempting to do?
Right. Yeah, and that's what
the way believe me, I've gone back and watched tape on Purdy since he's been the starter.
Yeah,
I don't think you can shake him.
But that's
as a rookie, I don't think you can shake him. This is where his experience in high school and college comes in.
Yeah, that's the road the Eagles are gonna have to take. They have to see if they can make Purdy feel, am I the guy? And in that instance, I would say no. And not that he's not the guy, but in terms of if that way can be fully successful, no, I don't think so. But I think they have to attempt doing that. And if only if they can force him to make mistakes, if they can have unforced errors, not forced errors, unforced errors.
Unforced errors.
Like basically like what the 49ers did with Dak, where it's like, okay, we know certain plays you're going to do. We know certain tendencies you're going to have. And so we're going to do this. So when you do, like what Dee says, you do the bench route. Well, we have coached our linebackers and our corners to jump the route. That is what the Eagles will have to do with the 49ers. They're going to have to
what's bad when Dak
put him in a place where he doesn't a forced error.
And what's bad is when Dak threw that bench route in the 4th quarter, a linebacker jumped it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Not just the corners and the safeties. They coach their linebackers. When you see this route, because it's going to be in your coverage area, jump the route.
And every time, the 2 times that Dak threw it against San Francisco, it got jumped. 3. Diamondou Lenoir had an interception in the 1st quarter, which led to a field goal. 3 times Dak Prescott threw that route. 3 times it got jumped.
Yeah. So to me, that's what the Eagles are going to have to do with Purdy. They're going to have to force him into making one of those unforced errors where he does, for the first time in his NFL career, throw a pick, or for the first time in his NFL career, cough. I mean, he's going to have to do something of that. They're going to do something of that nature.
And kind of like what Kansas City tried to do to Joe Burrow last year.
Right. And they were unsuccessful because Burrow didn't turn the ball over. So Purdy could do the exact same thing with the Eagles, where they could try to force that error. They could try to make it like tough for him, but he finds a way to overcome that, and he can actually give you that one play that you need him to make to basically say, well, that was the difference in this game between the 49ers losing it and the 49ers advancing to the Super Bowl.
It's going to be fun. And tomorrow, during the first 2 segments, we'll break down both championship games before our slew of guests will come on. Of course, tomorrow we have Sam Shady, who come on at the bottom of hour 1, top of hour 2, Ben Sutterth, and you all know who's at the bottom of hour 2 tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
All right, let's get on out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
then they are simply not big enough.
Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. And by the way, speaking of dreaming big, we'll see y'all in Las Vegas next year.
Ooh, next February.
When we attack Radio Row with Cole Sports, with the Brian Snow Show, and Snowman in the Morning. And there's a 4th show in the works too.
Oh. Next February, Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
We're out of here. See you tomorrow, folks. God bless you.